Anyone with common sense and logic understands that the hands and arms should move straight forward and backwards when you are running. It is forward that we are going. We want the kinetic energy to move in the direction of travel. If the arms come in towards the center of the body, we will waste energy sideways. And that is of course not efficient at all. And that's why the best runners in the world are so extremely careful to always move their hands exclusively straight forward and backwards in the direction of travel. Just look at Eliud Kipchoge here, who holds the world record for the marathon. Before Eliud Kipchoge, it was Paula Radcliffe who held the world record. Here is Paula, and she also has her hand in front of her body. Sifan Hassan, who has a whole pile of Olympic medals, and this is what she looked like when she won the London Marathon last weekend. And here we have the cover of the Boston Marathon winner Des Linden's newly published biography. This is the picture she chose. But that was just a lot of women. What about the men? Well, let's take a look at the other winner of this year's London Marathon, Eliud Kipchoge, who ran an amazing 2:01:25, the second fastest marathon time in history.
Possibility of him getting that.
He too does not move his hand exclusively in the direction of travel forward and backward, but it throws them in small circles in front of his body, like this. And also the great Kenenisa Bekele has his hand in front of his body. And so do the phenomenon of recent years on the shorter distances, Jakob Ingebrigtsen. And it doesn't matter if he runs track or cross country. But what about the world record holder of marathon, Eliud Kipchoge, the double Olympic gold medalist in the marathon and the only runner who have done the distance under 2 hours? He must surely follow the law of common sense and only move his hands in direction of travel forward and backwards like this. There must be something wrong with all these pictures. Is there no film where you can see what he looks like when he runs? His hands is moving in small circles in front of his body, just like Eliud Kipchoge. But note that you absolutely do not have to throw your hands in front of your body. We can take Helen Obiri as an example. It was Obiri who won the Boston Marathon this April, and I had the privilege of being part of her training group for a time in Gong Hills in Kenya, and saw her train and compete very close up. And here's Obiri from a training session in the purple jersey, filmed with my crappy phone. And as you can see, her hands do not fall towards the center of her body, but if we stop the film here, you really can't say that the hands have moved forward. Instead, it's almost straight up, and the hand is very, very close to the body. It moves like this, and this is not forward. So even among the runners who don't let their hand swing towards the center, as so many do, it certainly doesn't mean that their hands is moving in the direction of travel in that way that is said in a billion YouTube videos and books and articles in running magazines. But of course, If you look around, you are bound to find good runners who move their hands a little bit more forward and backwards in the direction of travel more than these runners do. And of course, you are welcome to run in any way you want. But if many of the best runners in the world, those who hold the world records and win the Olympics, do not move their hands forward and backwards like this, it may not be so important for the rest of us either, especially since the risk of overstride is much greater if the hands are moved in front of the body. And that's quite easy to feel. Just run and try to move your hands forward so they come in front of your body, and compare that to, well, not moving them in front of your body, but keeping them more close like this, and you will probably feel a difference in how you land. And it's not uncommon for runners who move their hands straight forward and backwards, and that they keep their hands quite wide, and then they also begin to put their feet a little wider, and that directly increases lateral forces in the knees and hips, which not only makes you leak energy sideways, but also increases the risk of injury. I see this many times every week, since I measure how the hands move and how wide runners put their feet down. If they put them a little bit too wide, the lateral forces increases quite a lot immediately. And sometimes the wider stride comes from holding their hands out like this. But remember, there's a huge difference between moving like this, when the shoulders are kind of stuck to the chest and torso, and you're turning the body like this, then the hand will swing in front of your body to the center line. And to move the shoulders more like this, if they are more decoupled from the torso, disconnected, so they move independently of your chest, comes up and falls down like this. And this is what very many of the good runners do. This one. And then you can take a picture of them with the hands here, and that's not the same thing as moving like this when you turn your shoulders and your chest at the same time, and also get the hand in front of the body. This is different to this, but you can still take a picture with the hand here in both styles. Well, and one more thing. After many of my videos, I have received comments like, well, this may apply to elite runners, but not to us recreational runners with a little extra weight and various injuries. And I want to finish with, this applies to you too. You can even say that it applies to you even more. Try to move your hands straight ahead like this, so your hands end up in front of your body, and then run like most of the best runners in the world run, like this, and see if it changes how and where you put your feet down. Good luck! I truly hope you liked that video, and if you did, please click the like button and maybe also the subscribe button. And feel free to check out all the other content I have here on my channel. And maybe you are also interested in my online course. You'll find it at fredrikzillén.com.